one thing I've realized about being back in TBC, and it's something that I wasn't thinking about before, was the reason I'm having so much fun, despite it being like just the launch experience. The launch experience is always fun, is that with Vanilla WoW, Season of Discovery to a degree ruined it for me. Not to say Anniversary was bad, but when I was playing Anniversary, it was very much a casual game experience for me. I didn't really try to go super hard or super sweaty, and I realized the reason why I had no incentive or desire to do that was because SoD spoiled me for a game where there was forever new patches, new content, balance changes. And having experienced that content, it made me realize that for me, Vanilla, Era, Anniversary, Another Fresh is effectively dead because I personally am looking forward to a world where there's fresh content happening in Vanilla. There's fresh content happening in the WoW experience. And when I realized that that's what I wanted, that's what I was waiting for, everything just clicked. Everything just made sense. Because, as I said, the experience itself is good. Anniversary and Vanilla and Era are good. But I am spoiled by SoD. I know the Discovery wasn't perfect. I know the Discovery wasn't amazing. I know there were so many little things wrong with the whole experience. But for me, it hit so many boxes of what Classic WoW could be. And while it fucked up a lot, made a shit ton of mistakes. For me, SoD was the best version of Classic since 2019. And I'm enjoying TBC because I'm going into TBC not with the expectation of Classic Plus or, Season of Discovery or this experience. I'm treating TBC as TBC. So maybe it was kind of unfair of me on my take on Anniversary. And now my excitement is through the roof. My hype is through the roof. I'm enjoying TBC. I know it's going to be a raid log game, right? Let's all be real here. TBC is going to turn into a raid log game whether you like it or not. It's just simply what it is. Everybody expects that. Everybody understands that this is a raid log experience, game, yada yada. 2 months in, when everybody's fully bissed out, if you're leveling an alt, they'll be doing the content you have available. And with Anniversary, I just didn't have hype like that because I just truly didn't care to just replay the same raids over and over again. With SoD, I was kind of delusioned that we were going to get a shit ton of new phases and raids. I thought that we were going to get a brand new raid at level like 50 and 60, right? Because if you guys remember, they showed Scarlet Crusade. Well, they showed a Scarlet Dungeon, and then they showed Karazhan Crypts at BlizzCon 2023, and then they announced Season of Discovery, and we got into straight up. We went right into BFD, then we went into Noma, but then Scarlet Enclave was missing, and they never redid Scarlet Monastery. And then Karazhan Crypt was effectively pushed back all the way for so long that by the time it came out, SoD had kind of like already plateaued and kind of like fell off a little bit. But that constant idea in the back of my head that we were getting new content, fresh content, new content, fresh content, I was so beyond hyped and excited that Vanilla for me is effectively a done experience. There is nothing at all wrong with Vanilla or any version of Vanilla. But just realistically put, despite all of its, and let's be real, there's a shit ton of very glaring flaws in SoD. SoD was new content, it was exciting content, and whether you liked the content or not was irrelevant because SoD tried to do something new. It fucked up a lot. I've said it a few times, but we gotta be clear. SoD was not a perfect experience. But it was a fresh experience. It was a new experience. And it was an interesting and exciting experience. And assuming they've learned their lesson. Assuming they've learned their lesson from Season of Discovery. And having figured everything out and having done everything. Clash Plus should be amazing. And I can't wait to fucking dive into it. But as it stands right now, I have faith that Clash Plus is going to be good. I have faith the storytelling is going to be good. The lore and the world building is going to be good. Game mechanics and systems, I'm hesitant. Because SoD was kind of fucked up and we have, MOP is constantly broken. TBC has a whole bunch of issues. Not so much right now. They did kind of fix TBC. But I do kind of worry on the back end side and the actual gameplay changes and things of that. But in regards to storytelling and questing and lore, I know they're gonna fucking cook up a storm in this context. Classic plus. Out of this. The interesting part about World of Warcraft, and I think this is the same in retail as well, is you always think there's a tank and a healer shortage. But there is almost never just a healer shortage. As a healer, you'll always get into a group fast. As a DPS, good fucking luck, right? But in Classic, across all of its versions, and retail's the same, when it comes to joining a raiding guild, there is not enough spots for all the tanks. When it comes to dungeons, heroics, mythic plus, there is always a tank shortage. And it's absolutely fucking hilarious how big the shortage of tanks really is. Because, for example, we can use Classic, right? Even as a prot warrior tank in last TBC, this time I'm playing a warlock, but as a prot warrior tank in last TBC and vanilla, in 2019 Classic, I would get groups instantly. I would be a tank looking for a pug. I would be a tank hosting a pug. I'd be a tank looking for a heroic. It took me maybe all of 2 minutes, 3 minutes to ever get a heroic group going. And I had my pick of the choice. Level 70, geared, all consumes, got Black Temple gear, yada yada yada, right? Retail. I had people that were much higher IO level than me joining my 12s or my 11s or my 13s. Not because they wanted to, but finding a tank for a 15 or 16 or 17, if you don't have a group, you're not going to really have a great time pugging for the most part. You could be there as a DPS spending 30, 60 minutes waiting for a single mythic plus. And people always say, well, just be a tank yourself. It's been almost, what is it? World of Warcraft 2004. It has been 22 years. And there is still a tank shortage. When are people going to learn that there just isn't going to be a solution to, guys, just be a tank? It doesn't work. And I don't know what the actual solution is to Blizzard making tanks more accessible. Because I can tell y'all right now, tanks are not fucking accessible in any version of the game. At all. No fucking shot, guys. Well, I don't know if it necessarily needs a solution, but it's just kind of interesting, right? No matter what, there's always a tank shortage. Every version, every game, every season, there's a tank shortage. If you're raiding, always tanks. As a DPS, if you look for a dungeon group or a mythic plus or a heroic, go fucking luck, buddy. Good fucking luck.